Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's Ringside Report MMA. Tonight on the show is Conor McGregor going to coach the Ultimate Fighter. Tyson Fury challenges Francis Ngannou, and is Alex Pereira next for the new light heavyweight champion, Jamahal Hill?
Let's go!
Yeah, let's go indeed. It's me, Dave. There's AJ. Uh-oh. AJ's, what is happening? Oh, my God. We caught him in a moment. Are you okay?
I'm doing a John Jones, man.
Oh, are you on the picograms?
No, man. Well, I'd like to be on a few picograms, but
Wow.
my voice is a little off today because I got the Dave Simon virus.
Oh,
So
jeez.
that's the price.
You got Dave
That's
Simon
the price
disease.
I paid. I got the Dave Simon. That's the price I paid to go for the watch-along. But
Wow.
I don't care, man. It's the watch-along. It's all about our universe, the UFC, man. I'm going to battle through this. But, man,
I'm
I
not
can't even
taking
talk.
responsibility for your cold.
Well, I listen, man, when you started coughing and sneezing at the show, man, I knew I was cooked. I'm like, fuck, I'm cooked. It's done, you know?
Well,
But I got my little bottle of
I don't
camphor
know.
here. This shit, do you know this shit, what it's good for?
No.
This stuff here is like, if you get knocked out, you know, they'll put it under your nose for like, you know, athletes, and you wake up. Holy smokes. Oh, it smells so good.
I was like 2 weeks deep into my flu
That's
that
what they
I
said.
had.
That's what she said.
I was 2 weeks into the flu when you came over, and I was pretty much better. I'm still like halfway better. I'd
What?
say
So it's for sure you
85%. I'm like 85%, 90% of the way. But like, I don't think I was still contagious. I think medically, scientifically,
Thanks.
possibly not. And also, Fred was sick, and I hadn't even seen Fred. So I don't think it's
I
totally
think you were
my
sick,
fault.
bud.
I don't want to take full responsibility. But I did warn you, AJ, that, you know, I had been sick. You knew I was sick. I sounded real bad last week. The week before we even
Damn right.
canceled the show, that's how sick I was, which we never cancel a show. So you know how sick I must have been. But also, AJ, I
Hey,
had
man,
fever
I'm a
and I
trooper
had
up
other
here, man.
symptoms. You don't have the same symptoms as me. So I'm
Well, look.
skeptical. But if it
Look,
is
I
me,
brought-
I feel bad.
Oh, shit, I almost dropped it. I would have got
Down you
killed
go.
from everybody here. So basically, this is the thermometer to
Thanks.
read, like, if I have a fever. So far, I'm hanging in there. But I'm sounding a little sexy, man.
Yeah, you sound
You know,
beautiful.
sexy chocolate.
Um,
Come on, baby.
we've had
Come on to the
a
Ringside Report.
rough time, man. Everybody on the Ringside Report team's been sick lately.
Or
I've been
broken
sick
knees.
past few weeks now. You're sick. Fred was sick too last week. Fred was sick
Maybe
in the
Fred
watch
gave it
along,
to you.
remember?
Yeah, so
No.
maybe he gave it to you, and then, like, you passed it over to me.
But I didn't see
That
Fred.
makes sense.
I didn't see Fred, so it doesn't make sense. You can't pass things through the internet. They're not that kind of virus, anyways. Wow.
Je suis Quebec, man. I'm still there.
All right.
Stay away from the light.
Well, we got
Man,
some
so
MMA to
busy
get to
week,
tonight.
man.
Fred's not here, not because he's sick, but because he's alone with his kids, so he had to take care of them, and he had no help, so
Well, lucky my mom's there tonight for me.
there you go.
Because Lucy and Noah are watching the Canadians against Detroit. So I don't know what's happening if they're getting smacked again, but it's not going to be a good year for them. It's not going to be a good year. That's why I listen to MMA, man. It's always exciting. Even a shitty card that's coming up this weekend at 1 in the morning, which is unbelievable. I forgot that it's 1 in the morning.
You know
How am I going
what?
to do that? But I'm going to do it.
I got a confession to make
What?
right off the bat. I screwed
Tell me,
up.
man. This sounds good.
I
What
screwed
did you
up.
screw up? What'd you say, man? This is the first?
It's not this weekend. It's next weekend, the UFC.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
There's no UFC this weekend.
I thought it
I
was
thought-
this Sunday, man.
I know,
You got
when
me
we
all
were-
messed up, man.
When we were doing the watch along on Saturday, which, by the way, thanks everybody for tuning into the watch along.
Wow, that was thanks, man. We like the support. We appreciate it, man. A lot
Yeah.
of good comments, a lot of likes, a lot of shares, man. And yeah, we were rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah, so thanks
we're getting
everybody
up
for
into the
supporting. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and leave a comment on the video. And if you really want to support, join.ringsidereport.net. We very much appreciate you. The members keep our show going. Members like Patrick C. Hamilton, members like Leor, members like Antoinette, all the members. Too many to name all in one shot, but I'm seeing a few of their names on the screen, so definitely appreciate all the members, Angelo, Doug Hepburn, all the people that support the Ringside Report Network. We appreciate you. AJ, you with me?
I'm checking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I can hear you, man. Yeah,
I think I froze out.
clear as a bell. You did freeze up, man. That's usually Freddie that freezes like that. And now I'm like, it's not me this time, man. But it seems like it might be my. Well, it can't be because I'm still talking to you, but
Yeah, no, I don't think it's you. I
weird.
think it was me. I think our stream busted out for a second there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well,
we're
I'm
back.
gonna refresh it. We're back, man.
We're
Back in
back.
black,
We're all
like our song on Instagram.
I was just giving a shout out to some of the members, and I wanted to mention our boy Wally out in Ireland.
Yeah,
and his
Wally.
wife Amy, who are expecting their first child, and I wanted to congratulate them. It's very cool. So congratulations
ready,
to our
man.
good friends, great friends of the show, Wally and Amy.
We got either a
expecting
little
their first
Wally or a
child
little
there out
Amy.
in Ireland. So congratulations, Wally and Amy. You guys are the best.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I feel guilty. I gotta still like send something out for Wally and Amy, and now the baby's coming. So, listen, man, if it's a boy, dude, I got a lot of clothes I can ship you. A lot. Why not, man?
It's great.
You gotta
It's great
share.
stuff.
That's the beauty about having kids, man. You gotta share.
There you go. Look at all those members
But if
being
it's a
shown across the screen. Derek John, Jason Pete, Patrick Dano, Doug Hepburn. So many people supporting the Ringside Report Network. Silent by Deadly. Harold Schneider, of course, our buddy. Leor, Patrick C. Hamilton, Ray Cruz, Rob Cluse, Sasha Lagarde, Angelo. Okay. So I want to get into some of the MMA here before things just kind of go to shit completely. God damn it, man.
There's always action, dude.
What the fuck, you know?
Yeah, shit happens, man. What are you gonna do, dude?
I don't know.
Most important is just like me and you chatting about the fucking what's happening in the world of combat sports. Well, you were talking. You actually just before you were cutting off, you were giving kudos to our good friend Wally. That was pretty much on the first 12 minutes of the clip. I see it on there, man. Keep it, production team. Keep that 12 minutes.
Yeah, we'll put it all
really
together somehow, I guess.
It's funny, man. There was a point where my head was going back and forth, dude. It was so funny. I've never seen my head move that fast. It was ridiculous, man. The Exorcist, live at Ringside Report. All I have to say, man, is that who is that? Fred Avertick, man, from the Montreal Wrestling Club. One of the OGs, man, of the Montreal Wrestling Club. Great photographer, supports the Ringside show big time, man. I don't know if you know Fred, Dave. Do you know Fred Avertick?
We've spoken. I don't think we've ever met.
Super nice guy, man. I'm telling you, this guy is all over the city, but he's like, I think he's at the Montreal Wrestling Club with David and Victor Zilberman, like every day, man. He's taking pictures of James, George St. Pierre, more, all these guys, man. Like he's always like involved with wrestling. He's an old OG, man. He's up there. I don't want to say his age, but it was the age of Aquarius when I think he was rocking and rolling, you know?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, some people do, bud.
We're going to talk about Conor McGregor here tonight. There's some Conor McGregor news. Alex Pereira as well, maybe jumping up in weight. And Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, I want to get your thoughts on that.
Scary.
GoldenEye releasing for the online Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch. A lot of people excited about GoldenEye.
What?
I'm very excited about GoldenEye, to play GoldenEye tomorrow on Nintendo.
Shit, I thought you were talking about a new James Bond movie, man. I'm like, what? I was just looking for it.
Yeah, I brought it up because I was wondering if you had any concept of GoldenEye, if you ever played GoldenEye, or are you just way too old? Because you're talking about the age of aquariums and whatever you're talking about. So I'm wondering, has AJ played GoldenEye? Is AJ familiar with the game GoldenEye? Because I was talking to Fred earlier. Fred was excited about GoldenEye coming out on Switch, and I was wondering if you were too, but I don't think you are. Because you don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but I was suspecting that it was probably something to do with James Bond, man. If you say golden something, you think James Bond. Anyways, in my demographics, they do.
Yeah. Well, it's
is
a James Bond video game for the.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's an old game that's just coming out again.
AJ's half right, man. For once, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
See, I told you I'm up to date with technology, bud. I knew it, man. You were trying to diss me, but I was right.
Not exactly, but close enough.
Yeah.
Conor
is the glass
McGregor.
half empty or half full?
Let's get to Conor McGregor.
The one where he's getting accused for hitting someone on a yacht or throwing her over like the boat? Is it that one?
I wasn't going to talk about that right now. That wasn't the first part of the Conor McGregor news. But
I thought
since
that was
you
it, man.
brought it up, and I like how you pronounce the name of the boat. What's the name of the boat again? You say yacht?
Did I say it? Yeah,
Because
yeah.
most people would say yacht.
Listen, man, most people in England will agree with me. It's a yacht.
But you said
How do you say it?
yacht. You said yacht.
Yacht. That's right.
I mean, at least you're not saying yatched. I'll give you that.
Don't get. It's a yacht.
Do you know how to spell yacht? Yacht?
I know Yahtzee. How to spell that? But
Close
yacht,
enough.
yeah, for sure, dude. Listen, so just get back to what's happening with Conor throwing like ladies off. Are you talking that first, or you want to go straight to like his
sure.
career? Which,
I mean, you're talking
gets-
about it, so I'm talking about it. Conor McGregor's being investigated for an alleged assault of a woman on his yacht in Spain that took place last summer.
I
Conor
think it's real, dude.
allegedly punched this woman, and she was so scared she jumped off the boat, choked her, yelled at her, all sorts of stuff. And now she's suing Conor, or he's being investigated for a potential assault. Apparently, he was investigated at first, but then the charges were dropped. But now there's new evidence, so they're investigating him again. I don't know really what to make of it. Yeah, AJ's showing pictures for some reason. I mean, can you focus on what we're talking about, or you're
But
just
I'm
too
gonna tell
distracted
you-
by
I'm-
your little gimmicks that you have in your little area?
Listen,
I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
gonna tell you the truth, Dave. I don't really buy it. You know why?
No.
Because everybody has a phone on them, and everybody wants to make money. Anything that Conor does that's out of control, it's right on TMZ, and they're gonna be paying you like 6 figures for that shot. Let me tell you, if I was on that yacht with Conor McGregor, I can assure you, man, I'd be giving TMZ a call. But like, look at Conor. What's new? Conor does all kinds of shit. That's why I find it a little bit like iffy. Because the truth is, most of the time when he's on his yacht, he's going to be
Yacht.
with his wife. The yacht. He's going to be with his wife. His wife is on everywhere that he goes, literally, and
So?
except for Brazil. But the thing is this. I don't buy it. There's something fishy about the story. Everybody's trying to get at Conor. You know, he's got the money. There's something a little far-fetched on this. Like I said, if anybody got punched, like hence Dana White with the slap, somebody would have recorded it. I guarantee you. And she would have done a video herself saying, listen, man, I just got thrown off of the Conor yacht. And, you know, there's something, listen, I'm having a hard time swallowing it.
Why? Conor has been known. I mean, how many times has this guy been investigated for hitting people or doing things like?
Yeah,
The
usually
guy
it's
gets
old
in trouble
guys
with
at a
the law
bar.
all the time. He's always being investigated for this or that. Punch that old man in the bar. I mean, why are you so skeptical that this isn't true? I'm not saying that he did this. I don't know, but I'm
Look,
not
if he did
thinking
that,
definitely
that,
he didn't
should
do
have
it. I'm
charges.
thinking, oh yeah, it's possible he did that shit. It's Conor McGregor. He's a little wild man. You know, he's a wonky guy. He drinks a lot, and, you know, when you drink a lot, things happen.
I don't
Things
think
happen.
he drinks that much, dude. I think
You don't think he drinks
plays the-
that much? Really?
I think he plays the game. Yeah, man.
What's not
for him
that
to be-
much?
Listen, for him to be in the condition he's in, he's training like a beast every day. So for him to get like
please.
wasted and drunk means that he's off of his training regimen. I find that hard to believe. I think he plays the shtick. He plays a great WWE character, and he sticks to it. And no matter what, he'll never go off the track with that character, which is the Notorious. Conor McGregor is the guy. Notorious is his shtick. And I'm telling you, I have a hard time swallowing this. If it was John Jones, on the other hand, I might say it's a possibility
Oh, gee,
know,
I wonder
but-
what the difference is.
because he actually gets caught all the time.
So does Conor.
Conor, there was a few accusations that were false, you know, and proven.
I don't know.
I'm just
AJ.
saying.
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying. Listen, but hear me out. If he really was caught on tape, like Dana White slapped,
I
him
just
and he
find
threw-
it odd
punched
that
a
you're
girl
so
and-
quick to defend Conor McGregor, and you're not quick to defend John Jones or Nick Diaz.
No,
Or
Diaz,
any number of other fighters that have
Whoa,
got
whoa, whoa,
themselves
whoa.
into trouble that you've been quick to condemn. But for some
Say
reason,
what?
your boy McGregor, he gets a pass every time. I'm not sure why.
I'm just saying, Dave. I find it hard to swallow. Ah,
I'm sure you do.
I've got the Simon
I'm
virus.
sure you do find it hard
no,
to
but
swallow.
listen,
All those Conor McGregor nuts going down your throat.
balls
You
deep, man.
Conor
Balls
McGregor
deep.
nut hugger over there.
Listen, man. If he is actually, like I said, was guilty of that, then he needs to be like charged, arrested, and not fight in the UFC anymore. That's it. Goodbye, man. It's already bad enough that Dana White slapped his wife, and there's a lot of rumor right now. I've been on a few chat rooms, and there was discussions, and I've been doing it for the last week and a half, and everybody is like starting to get on the bandwagon that it was staged. Everybody thinks he was trying to
What the
promote for
fuck?
his slap.
What?
I swear to
Shut
God,
the
Dave,
fuck up,
I'm
man.
not
What?
joking, man.
Dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there starting to go
Dude.
that route. Dude, don't
What?
get mad at me. I'm just a messenger, man.
Well,
I
sometimes
made
you
you.
shoot the messenger and you're right to do it because the messenger's bringing you some bullshit from chat rooms that he's in. It's 2023. Why are you still in chat rooms?
India, dude, there's like great market there. I
What?
told you, man. Our fans
Indian
in India.
chat rooms. I don't know who you're trying to pick up in those chat rooms, AJ, but
No,
you
they're all
can't
like
bring them
wrestling and
over
MMA
here, okay?
fans, man. Well, they
Patrick
actually
C-
want to come in from India. I'll tell you, Dave. They
Not to
they,
cut
they
you
really like
off.
the Dave Simon.
Not to
What's
cut you off, but I want to talk about somebody who actually brings something to the Ringside Report Network. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat. The Lucky 777 says working great now. Thank you, Patrick, and thank you for
Thanks,
the lucky
man.
numbers there. I appreciate the support and the luck that you're bringing to us. Hopefully our internet doesn't crash and burn again as it did earlier
Pat,
in the show. But everything does
you
seem to
coulda
be
won with
working
me
well
last week.
now, right? We had a bit of a glitch. Our stream died. Things went to shit, but we're back. We're doing the show, and things are happening. I
we
blame
power through.
my internet provider, the great and
Who is it?
powerful Videotron. You bastards
What?
screwed me again.
Bastards,
Videotron.
Videotron.
Pelado! You
Listen, man.
filthy
Listen,
animal!
If Bell wants to up the game, man, let's talk.
Bell can suck it.
Well, there's a story behind that. So if everybody's like, why is Dave like on the hate train with Bell? It's because there was a long story, a little bit of.
You're going to tell the story? Let
I'm
me
not gonna say
get
the
my
story.
popcorn for this. Let's hear that story from AJ's
Well,
perspective.
Well,
What happened to Dave from AJ's perspective?
Well, Dave
How
was
Dave
like the
got
number.
screwed by Bell.
Dave got screwed by Bell. He was the number one, radio host, on TSN 690, in my opinion. The most legit, the most knowledgeable, and not
Legit,
only because he's my boss, legit. We had some good times there, dude. We did some crazy shit at those studios at Bell. But all to say is that they tried to railroad Dave Simon, which they railroaded a lot of other guys, all the way up to Tony Marinaro. He's not there anymore. But you know what? They snowballed Dave Simon, and you know what? It was better for us. It's better for us. We got on podcasts, and now we have an international audience.
Sure,
so thank
but
you to
I
Bell.
mean, if you also want to be,
Let's talk.
if you want to get a little bit more specific, they,
Uh-oh. We're gonna get sued here. Go ahead,
I
bud.
mean, they can't sue me for what is true, right?
True, you're right. Those are the facts.
I mean, I was working for them in a technical capacity, right? That was my full-time day job. And they fired me from that because they were making cuts and they cut a bunch of people. And I was one of the people that they cut. And because of that, they told their guys on TSN 690, a radio station that I didn't even work at other than the show. I didn't work at TSN 690. I worked at a different radio station, right? So when they fired me from the radio station, which is fine. I mean, things happen. People get cut. Happens all the time in radio. It's fine. But they also banned me from their TSN 690 radio station because they said, oh, well, you fired. You can't be on a Bell Media station, which is iffy. I think they were just a little bit worried about what I was going to say, which is ridiculous because I've always been completely professional when I did the hits with those people. I always kept it MMA, and I never did anything crazy, and I never would have.
No, you're a professional, dude.
But for some reason, they decided that I couldn't be on their shows. And that's why when you listen to TSN 690, which I do from time to time because I have friends that still work there, you will never hear a single word about mixed martial arts or professional wrestling. They will never talk MMA on that radio station. Why? Because I was the guy that they went to talk MMA, because none of those guys are big MMA fans. None of those guys are that knowledgeable when it comes to MMA. So that's why in this city, on your sports radio station, you don't have anybody talking mixed martial arts, because their bosses decided that I was too dangerous, or that they just wanted to stick it to me. I honestly think that there was a part of them because they didn't like me and I told them no when I should tell them no. Right? I think that there was a part of them that was like, let's just not have this guy on so that he can't promote the Ringside Report Network on TSN. And, that happened. Right? So if you want to know what happened. And that's why when they do their Bell Let's Talk Day, I'm just like, come on, man. Because they
didn't want to talk with you.
Honestly, they screwed their guys that do the shows because I was easy content. Like, they could call me and I could be on in 5 minutes and eat up 20 minutes of their time talking about whatever. So I was good, easy content for them. Free content, right? I always did those appearances on their shows for free. And, I mean, for me, it kind of hurt the, being able to promote. So for me in the Ringside Report Network, they kind of mess with our ability to promote in the city, because I could promote the stuff, the podcast and the YouTube shows on the radio, right? So they screwed that a little bit, but that's fine. But really what bothers me is that mixed martial arts doesn't get the coverage. You know what I'm saying, AJ? Like,
yep.
For me, it really isn't about the guys in their shows or me promoting or whatever. It's about the sport of mixed martial arts that I love, that I was able to promote and talk about and represent well and speak well about to a large audience all the time, because here I'm preaching to the converted. If you're coming here to the Ringside Report Network, you're coming here because you already like MMA or pro wrestling, right? But for the general sports audience that was maybe into hockey or soccer or basketball or whatever, when they heard me talk about MMA, they might say, oh, that UFC sounds interesting. Maybe I'll start watching that. Maybe I'll get into MMA. Maybe I'll go do some jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? When I was promoting martial arts, promoting mixed martial arts, I was doing it so that the average sports fan who wasn't into the UFC got into the UFC. And I didn't do that for any selfish reasons. I did that because I love the sport of MMA. I love the people involved in MMA. I love the athletes. I love the fights, and I think it's the best thing going. So that's where I think, that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give my money to any other internet company.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you something. No matter what all the glitches tonight from Videotron where they got to up their service, you're absolutely right, man. And I always say this on the show and whatnot. You were like the pioneer for MMA here in Canada, really, because when you look at it, some of the best MMA came out of Montreal. We had UFC champions, man, one after another. And if they weren't champions, they were making their way to the title belt. We had fantastic gyms here, man. You name it. You had TriStar. You had in the days. You had the Brazilian top team Gamma. You had the Sherbatov's gym that was rocking and rolling. You had like the Gracie Baja jiu-jitsu as well. Like, you had a lot of quality training centers that went to world levels, and you were promoting that. You know what I'm saying? What it comes down to is that you were the pioneer, and it's not respectful for a guy who actually was showcasing like local talent that went to international talent like George St. Pierre. You were one of the first ones to talk about him. I used to listen to you way back, even talking about wrestling. I would listen in. Not that I was a huge wrestling fan, but I was like old wrestling fan. Like, I like the, the Andre the Giant days, the Hogan days, all those days where to me it was like wrestling. That's my wrestling days. But you piqued my interest into a lot of like newer wrestlers, and I'm kind of disappointed because they should have that show because not that we need them, but like it's just disappointing. And I'm gonna admit something, dude. I'm gonna admit something on air, just so they know. If they're like trying to always figure out, it was the mystery, not like the Bermuda Triangle. They always were trying to figure out where that foosball went from their foosball table. Well, I'm gonna tell you where it went. It was me and Glenn. We were playing foosball, and I took a massive shot on Glenn McKenzie, and that stupid foosball flew in the air. I swear to God, we saw it rocket, man. It was like an Elon rocket. It went up, up and away. And I saw it going up into the rafters, and it went behind the lights, Dave. There was no way. There was no way we could get that ball anymore. So, Bell Media, it was me that lost your foosball. And you know what? It's probably still in the lights. And actually, it was Glenn's fault because he blocked that shot because it would have been a beautiful goal. So, all to say is,
I go with a serious story, like a real thing, and AJ's just talking.
This is real.
I mean, I believe you, but
it was great, man. Just to say, man, screw you.
Yeah, I just overall, I didn't like the way they did business.
Yeah, but you're better off now, man. Look at you. You look healthier. You look refreshed. You're controlling your direction. And listen,
I'll tell you this.
It's not like there's.
I will tell you this. For all their bullshit about mental health, right?
You never know what's going to happen in the future, dude. We have a fantastic show, I think. And a lot of people that listen.
Can you hear me?
What's happening there?
I'm just saying, for all their bullshit about mental health, my mental health is far better not being there than it was being there when I worked there. For Bell Media, when I worked for Bell Media, it was not a good condition, So my mental health far better now.
That's crazy, dude. You're like, they should do a story on you.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be too good for their company. But I mean.
But that's the thing, man. Sometimes
I got a lot of stories I could tell. I'm not going to tell all the stories. I'm not going to be specific with names or whatever, but certain people know who they are.
When you write your memoir, listen, later on in life, when you write your memoir, that book, the Dave Simon, MMA like smack in your face, you can put down anything you want, dude. I would.
Yeah, I mean,
and most you can tell them about the foosball.
The thing is, like, the more time passes, the more I forget about all these things and all these people because, it loses significance. You know what I'm saying? Like, over time, I'm just like, who was that guy again? I think he sucked. I don't know.
Alex Terrace was really interested in finding out what happened.
Yeah, well, if Alex Terrace is still on the chat and he's got specific questions, you can ask away. You can ask me anything. If you have specific questions when it comes to that, I'm an open book. You know what I mean? I'll say anything.
Yeah, something like that, bud.
God damn, man.
Man, it sucks, dude, but it happens.
Well, this show is going to be re-uploaded in its complete format later on.
Well, that's the beauty of what you're doing now. Imagine if you were at Bell, you'd be like totally like, that's it, man. Show's over.
Things would never work there. But this whole show, because we're having so many problems with the glitching and the streaming, the whole show will be re-uploaded to the YouTube channel as one big chunk later on, okay? So the recording is all one recording, and we're recording the show, and we'll upload it later. So we're sorry about this, but it's kind of out of our hands. Let's get to Conor McGregor and not the alleged assault, which who knows if he did it or not. I guess he'll be investigated, and it'll come out. But in the meantime...
Tell me, man.
In the meantime, Conor says he's been offered a job by the UFC. And this is the offer.
Let's hear it.
Here is a picture from Conor McGregor's Instagram. And it's not really the picture that's important, but is the caption. This is a snap from the original Ultimate Fighter house where I coached versus Uriah Faber. This photo was just before the show, though. It was right before I won my first world title, beating Uriah teammate Chad Mendez around. I then went on to coach the famous fight show straight after the fight. With a big black eye and a gash, my tricolor, and my new and first ever UFC gold belt, I waltzed into the notorious fight gym in Las Vegas. The slickest suits and shouts the show had ever seen before. On top of the silverware, and I coached my team to victory. Crazy. Some journey. I have just been offered to coach this role again. I like it. It is full immersion, which is needed. I see fighters lining up. I know what's ahead. I've been ready, motherfuckers. Hashtag stay ready. He's been offered a job to coach the Ultimate Fighter again.
Man, it's going to be hard, dude, because the guy is like so big now. How is he going to go to middleweight, man?
What? Middleweight? You mean welterweight or lightweight?
No, because he
You think
weighs
he's gonna
at
fight
a.
at middleweight?
He has to, man. He's too big.
He can't fight at middleweight. He's too big to fight. He's too small to fight at middleweight, like height-wise. It doesn't make sense.
Dude,
He
he
would
looks
get
like
smashed.
200 pounds.
You think Conor McGregor's going to fight at 185? Are
Man,
you nuts?
He looks,
Okay,
Dave,
first of
I
all,
know, but
let's
he
stick
looks
with the
like he's
Ultimate
200
Fighter.
pounds.
Ultimate Fighter, okay? They want him against Michael Chandler. It's going to be Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor. That's what the UFC wants. Would you watch the Ultimate Fighter if Conor was coaching?
Damn right. Who wouldn't?
A lot of people.
It'd
Fred?
be like the ratings would be through the roof, man.
Fred wouldn't
Fred
watch.
would watch.
No,
you
he
know it.
wouldn't.
He might say he won't, but he still will.
He'd
He'll
watch the
sneak
highlights.
in, and then he'll eventually watch the. Oh, I guarantee he would, man. He would, and you're gonna be sucked into it because as soon as Connor starts going on one of his rants, yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah, I can see him watching highlights, but I'm telling you, the highlights are strong enough to bring you in. Connor's a big name, dude. No matter what he does, people are gonna be like attracted to him, man. Like a moth to a light, man. It's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough to.
But think
Get
of how much
people
money
back.
he's gonna make.
I don't know if it's going to be enough to get people back to watching the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, 100%, Dave.
And that's another thing.
Oh.
Like, how much are they going to have to pay to get Conor McGregor on the Ultimate Fighter?
He's gonna exactly. There's gonna be a lot of dineros, man, that are gonna have to be offered. But you know what? That's the chance that they're willing to take because the ratings are gonna go up. Everybody's gonna. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be like some of the best Ultimate Fighter episodes, and then it's gonna go straight to the fight. The hype to get to the fight is gonna bring in pay-per-view numbers like you would not believe. And the card might be one of these crazy cards where you'll actually see like a John Jones on that card as well. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to be a blockbuster. Look. Their fights haven't been that. Look, they've been okay starting the new year, but you know, we need some like big, like oh my god, like cards, and that's going to be one of them. Connor's coming in, but I'm telling you,
but
he's. I just find it hard to see what weight class he's going to be coaching because that's the weight class he's going to be fighting in.
no, that's not how Ultimate Fighter works.
Well, more or less, like
No,
you know,
it's not how it works ever. When Juliana Pena coached the Ultimate Fighter against Amanda Nunes, they had heavyweight men on the show.
True. You got a point there.
What are you talking about? It's never
You're
that.
right.
I mean, once in a while, but not usually. Super chat.
Super chat, it's working.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
guys for
Something's
like
working.
having. Thank you guys for still like having confidence in
Shout
us
out to
and
Grim
listening
Skull
the show.
supporting.
Thanks, Grim Skull. You're awesome, man.
Leaving this here. Thank you, Grim Skull, supporting the Ringside Report Network. We're having streaming issues all night, apparently due to power outages because of the weather.
Damn weather, man.
There's some interruptions of telecommunications across the province, so we're being hit from some outages tonight. I don't know. I think I would watch Ultimate Fighter if Conor was on. I don't know if it would get enough people back. I don't know how much you have to pay Conor to be a coach on the Ultimate Fighter. And I think that the Ultimate Fighting job would be up against Michael Chandler. I think it would be Conor and Michael Chandler. Conor's going to fight at 155, maybe 170, but
I don't know how
AJ
he's gonna
talking
do
about
it, dude.
185 is dreaming. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Dude, man, he's like a freaking steroided like
You
beast
don't know
right
how
now.
much he weighs?
Dude, I'm pretty good at guessing weight, okay? And looking at Conor and looking at some of the videos and some of the pictures, I'm telling you, this guy is like hanging like closer to 200 than
I'm
not.
pretty good at guessing weight.
I am.
What does that mean?
It means
How do
that
you know?
I'm telling you, this guy is nowhere at 165.
That's not
This guy is
tested.
nowhere walking around at 175, 185. No, he's bigger than George St. Pierre. And
How
George
much do I
walks
weigh?
around 190. You weigh about, I'd say one, because you're a little bit deceiving, but I'd say you're around 158.
No way. You're way off. And I'm not going to tell you what direction.
You know, man. You know, I probably hit it right on the hammer, man. And you don't want to give me the credit.
I don't think
That's okay,
so.
Dave.
I'm heavier than that, man. 158?
You are?
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say 160. You know,
I'm like 170.
Yeah, okay. I'm not that far off, man. 10 pounds, give
come
or
on,
take,
bro.
man. It's a division.
I'm huge. All right.
But Connor is
You don't know what
like
people weigh,
super
AJ.
jacked.
You're not one of those carnival men that does that.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. There's
Well, I'm
something
telling you
like
that
with
he's like
Connor is
5'9", so he's not fighting at 185 pounds. You imagine fighting him against like Alex Pereira, who's like 6'4"? Like what? What are you saying? He's not going to do
I
that.
don't know, man.
I
Maybe he's
know.
not going to fight at all. Maybe he's not going to fight at all, and this is going to be like his ticket to continue the Connor, the Connor show. It could be, Dave.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
we.
I think the
You
UFC should
never know.
offer him the Ultimate Fighter job and offer him a boatload of money to do it. Because otherwise, I mean, who else coaches the Ultimate Fighter? Are there two fighters that you'd like to see coach the Ultimate Fighter other than Conor McGregor and possibly Michael Chandler? And
Like
if it's
in any
not Michael
division?
Chandler, like who do you think it's going to be against Conor? Israel Adesanya? Like what are you thinking?
Oh man, it's going to be hard, dude. It's going to be
You got
hard.
no answers.
Maybe it's going to be a tough one, man. If
I'd like to
Diaz was
see
around, he would have
Pereira.
been cool.
I'd like to see Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya coach Ultimate Fighter.
That could be interesting.
There's
That
bad
could be
blood there.
interesting.
I think that'd be interesting to build up to their title fight. I'd like to see
Well,
that.
listen, Pereira wants to fight like Jamahal Hill right now. He's
Yeah.
calling him out. He says he's going to smash him. He's going to move up. And between me and you, I love Jamahal Hill. He fought an amazing fight.
Yeah.
But Pereira, Jesus.
And
he
Pereira
might
is
be
Glover's
dangerous.
boy, right? So Pereira, in Jamal Hill's Instagram comments, he said, "I heard Prohaska's are hurt. What about knocking me out?" So kind of saying, "Hey, how about you come and see what you can do against me here, Jamal Hill?" So Alex Pereira, the middleweight champion, challenging the new light heavyweight champion. Pereira, of course, good friends and training partners with Glover Teixeira, who just lost to Hill. The fight makes sense, man. Like, if they're not doing Adesanya right off the bat, the fight makes sense. If Prohaska is still hurt, which he is, and Jamal Hill's ready to fight again at some point this year, Pereira makes a lot of sense. Because outside of Pereira, I think we talked about it. It's either Ankalaev or Blachowicz, and because they fought to a draw, it's not really clear who. It's not really clear who you pick. So if it's not Ankalaev and it's not Blachowicz next for Jamal Hill, and Prohaska's still hurt, Pereira makes sense. The only problem is you want to do Pereira and Adesanya. You want to do that rematch. That seems to be where the UFC's headed. But is that where Adesanya wants to be right now? Is Adesanya ready? Is Adesanya healthy? What's going on with Israel Adesanya? How much time does he want to take? He got knocked unconscious. Like, let's not forget, he got knocked out cold. He might want to take a year and a half, recover, come back stronger, come back better.
It's going to be tough, man.
I don't know. I don't know who you go with. And I've lost AJ again, and I'm glitching out again. AJ, you with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bud. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
You
can
said
hear you,
something
bud.
about it's going to be tough. Something about Adesanya.
Well,
you
yeah,
there?
man. Whoever's going to fight Adesanya, yeah, whoever's going to fight Israel, it's going to be tough, man.
No, I'm saying Israel might want to take some time off here. He might not be ready to fight Pereira right away. He just got knocked out. So if he's not, Pereira and Hill, that makes sense. Let's do it.
Yeah, you know what? I would look forward to that fight, over Israel, to be honest. Just because the way he fought and the way Pereira is like so confident that he wants to be like a 2-division title holder, man. And I can see this guy doing it. He's just a big guy. To be honest, between me and you, I can see this guy even moving into heavyweight at some point. He's got that size. He's 6'4", if I'm not mistaken. Huge individual. These guys cut weight like it's like unbelievable numbers, but their walking weights are completely different. Like I said about George. George walks around at least 190 something. George is not that small, but when he fights, it's a different game. It's easier to go up than down.
Yep. I
You
can
know,
see that fight taking place, but Jamahal Hill looking really good. Looking better, I think, against Glover Teixeira than anybody expected him to look. Even if you were picking Jamahal Hill to win, I don't know if you were picking Jamahal Hill to look that good against Glover Teixeira.
well, I called it, man. Listen,
Yeah,
last
right.
week's picks, Dave, I was doing pretty damn well. If you didn't pressure, push me to take Shogun, I would have hit a perfect parlay. Uh, I knew
No,
the
I don't
rest
think
was,
that's true.
listen, I got 4 out of 5, dude, and Freddie confirmed that. I won all the last three, leading up to the end, man. I told you Jamal Hill was going to beat Glover. Um, Look, it's the time for the old dinosaurs. It's their time to go. Even next week with Derek Lewis, man. Derek Lewis is fighting Spivak. Spivak is what, 27 years old. Derek Lewis, 37. It's coming to an
Yeah,
end, dude. Even Derek Lewis's career is more south than anything. He's just a gatekeeper now. He'll
yeah.
make the money and run. There's too
No, you're
many
not
beasts
wrong about
coming
that.
up, dude,
Yeah.
in all divisions.
Yep. There's new challengers coming up all the time.
Can you hear me, Mo?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we're having real problems here tonight. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of
Yeah.
tough. It's
Well,
kind of
it's the
tough to
weather, man.
maintain.
I think it's yeah. That's the problem with everybody across the board here. But you know what? We're hanging in, and once you piece it all together, we apologize to everybody listening. It's a tough night. This is what you get when you live up north, man. It ain't easy.
It's not usual. This is not usually how things operate, but for some reason the internet is really not cooperating tonight because of power outages and stuff. I don't know. I'm blaming Videotron for everything going wrong tonight. I'm not too happy with them, to be honest.
But you still wouldn't change them over Bell. That's the beauty
Well,
of it.
I'm not going to Bell.
You know.
It's a bad company with evil people. Okay. Let's get to our final story of the night. Tyson Fury.
What is it? Oof, Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury put out a challenge to Francis Ngannou. He says, let's do a boxing match with 4-ounce gloves in a cage.
What?
With Mike Tyson as the referee. I was like, all right.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be more of a circus than anything.
Yeah, but well, here's the thing.
Listen, man.
Let me tell you why I like it.
Why?
Francis Ngannou is not going to beat Tyson Fury in a regular boxing match in a ring with regular boxing gloves. Right?
Right.
So, why not make it a little different? Why not make it a little bit weird for Tyson Fury? He's got to wear the smaller gloves that Francis is used to. He's got to fight in a cage, which is a little bit more comfortable for Francis compared to Fury, who's never fought in a cage. But it's still
Not
boxing, so it's still kind of Fury's world. I don't know. Why not? It'll
really.
sell a bunch of pay-per-views.
It won't, dude. And it's not a good move for Fury because Fury, as in a boxing ring, you can use those ropes, to sort of advantage at times when you need to get out of a flurry of punches. Muhammad Ali was great for, the rope-a-dope and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying is in the octagon, you cannot back up. When the punch is coming on you straight, you can't sort of go with the punch. So the impact is not as heavy. But in an octagon, man, you're straight up against the octagon. The punches are going to be right on the money. And you know what? Just the feel of an octagon is way different. We saw that in Pride. People coming from Pride. Look, Shogun Roa was 12-1, coming from Pride. 12-1, fighting in a different style cage. They were used to being able to throw submissions, in places that you can't in the octagon. Very different game. What I'm trying to say is this. There's two problems here. Tyson Fury will have a harder time than he can imagine. He won't be able to walk. He won't be able to use the ropes as his advantage because he does that a lot, man. He'll use those ropes and then he'll execute a flurry of punches that, that'll hit the target. But there's no using those ropes. So forget it. But the problem is this, is Ngannou, before he came to the UFC or the world of MMA, his dream was to be heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. Heavyweight. He wanted to follow the steps of Muhammad Ali. You're not coming into an octagon and getting anything more than a circus. Tyson Fury better not make a mistake to go into an octagon. It will backfire on him. Yeah, I think he could win, but I don't think I don't think the odds are gonna be really in his favor, in my opinion, like it would be in a boxing ring. Two different worlds, man. It's like lacrosse and ice hockey. Pretty similar. Two different fields. So
Yeah, but it's not like it's MMA. They're not fighting MMA.
does it matter? Does it matter? Does it matter? It absolutely does not matter. It's going to be hard. He won't be able to do what he does. And Ngannou, if he throws those bombs and keeps you up against the octagon, it's going to be a bad day for Tyson
But
Fury.
there's no clinching. There's no clinching. It's no keeping you up against the octagon.
I can still hold my hand out, like in boxing, hold the head to drop the punches, hold the chest, drop the punches. He can't use the ropes to sort of, use that ping pong type of escape. There's none of that. He's stuck up against the octagon. It could be bad. You know what I'm saying? He can't unleash like when you're recoiling back from the ropes. It's a different game, man. I don't think it's a smart move. And first of all, Ngannou doesn't want that. He wants to win the heavyweight title in boxing. And Tyson Fury should not become a circus. Do what you do best. Box. You box, you're gonna win. You get in the octagon, I'm telling you, your chances of losing have just went up.
I would like it to be a regular boxing match. I think it would be they'd be better off. Everybody be better off.
Of course, man. We don't want to see we don't want to see the circus shit that makes absolutely no.
Yeah.
No matter who wins, it'll be like, oh well, he won. Well, and if he loses, it's gonna be it's because it was an octagon. Screw it. Put them where they want to be. Let boxers box in a ring. Point final.
Yeah. I would much rather it just be a straight up boxing match. I don't know why it has to be in an octagon. I don't know why it has to be 4-ounce gloves and all of that with Mike Tyson involved. It does make it into kind of a circus and a sideshow. I don't know why Tyson Fury wants it that way. I really don't. I don't.
Look, he's probably not thinking. He's not looking at it from. He's looking at it maybe from a money perspective. We're trying to make it more enticing for Ngannou. Ngannou doesn't need to be enticed. His dream was to be in a boxing ring to be the heavyweight champion. And he could do that. If he beats Tyson Fury, he's going to get his dream. He'll be the only guy in combat sports that goes from a title in mixed martial arts to boxing. How can you deny it, man? He'll be like a name like we'll talk about in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, like we talk about Ali. You can't escape from that. That's the difference. But fighting in an octagon or a Toblerone ring or a freaking a gauntlet style like they do like in Russia, it's bullshit. Even the slap fighting, who really knows who is who? That doesn't count. Never change the sport from what it really is. Wrestling is wrestling.
I don't understand.
We wrestle on a mat. We do jiu-jitsu on a mat. We don't do like now. Can I just say one thing, Dave?
Yeah.
We have jiu-jitsu right now that I've been looking at on YouTube. It's called jiu-jitsu fights in a car.
Yeah.
So fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It kind of look. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but the fight in a car is because it's for my life. I'm gonna do everything I can to survive. There'll be jiu-jitsu, but I'll bite his nose if I have to. But the thing is, to turn the sport that is so legit, that you work hard, that you have to sit in a car, put a seatbelt on, and the first one to unleash and then attack and then win, it's just ridiculous. And if anybody really gets hurt, which it could happen, it's going to taint the sport. Why are they doing this ridiculous stuff? It doesn't last long. I looked at that and I'm like,
it's a
why
gimmick.
As a jiu-jitsu practitioner, it's a gimmick, man. They don't do that shit in wrestling, man. Like, come on. I'm going to put two collegiate wrestlers or Division 1, 2 wrestlers in a car and they're going to go wrestling. Come on, man. Let's not turn this into a bullshit thing. Jiu-jitsu is at the same level as...
It's a gimmick
but
because
you don't see judo guys doing that, and you don't see Olympic wrestlers doing that bullshit.
Here's the thing. You're talking about car jitsu, okay? You're getting people that no one...
Oh, that's it. Car jitsu. Oh,
right. You're getting people that no one has ever heard of doing this car jitsu stuff. Slap fighting. You're getting these people that no one's ever heard of slapping each other in the face. And you're getting these ridiculous gimmicks, these ridiculous concepts, because the gimmick is what's going to get people to watch. It's going to get people to view, right?
For a short period of time.
Sure. But with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, there's no need for gimmicks. You got the heavyweight champion of the world in boxing against the heavyweight champion of the world in MMA. Now, I guess because it's kind of a boxing versus MMA thing, Tyson Fury's idea was like, let's do like a half MMA, half boxing fight to get people interested more. But I don't think you need to get people interested more. If you say that you're going to have a boxing match against a UFC heavyweight champion who hits like a truck, I think that's enough to get people to tune in and to watch. And I don't know who's advising him. I don't know who's telling him to make these challenges. Maybe this is just Fury himself, but it is unnecessary. And it really makes me wonder, like, does Fury think Ngannou can beat him possibly, and he wants the excuse of, well, wasn't really a boxing match? I don't know. I don't think so. I'd be really surprised if that was the case. I think Fury is just ill-advised and saying, yeah, let's do this weird gimmick fight. People will want to watch that more than some old boxing match I have. And it's like, no. I think you're underestimating the draw of Tyson Fury and the draw of Francis Ngannou and the draw of people wanting to see them box each other. Now, I think most educated combat sports fans will say, well, Francis should get eaten up here. But I think you could get people to tune in. But it's not like Mayweather-McGregor where you have a guy in Conor McGregor who's going to talk everybody into their seats. Francis Ngannou is not Conor McGregor when it comes to selling a fight. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what Fury is worried about. Like, maybe he thinks it'll be too respectful and Francis just isn't that type of personality, so they need a gimmick to sell it. I really don't know. I don't know why he proposed these rules. But I mean, if that's what it takes to get them in a fight against each other, then let's do it. You know, like, sorry.
Oh, damn.
If that's the only way
Simon virus.
Fury wants to fight Francis is under that rule set, fine. You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't want to do a boxing match, but he'll do this weird 4-ounce glove octagon boxing match, then do that. Because whatever they got to do to get them to fight each other, I'm down with that. Not because I want to see the fight, but because I want Francis Ngannou to get paid. I want
Dave.
His gamble, like, he bet on himself. He left the UFC. He left millions of dollars on the table. I want it to pay off for him. I truly think he deserves that big money paycheck. I want the gamble that Francis Ngannou took on himself to pay off. So that's why I want him to fight Tyson Fury in any kind of rule set possible, because that will be vindication for Francis Ngannou and for many other fighters that fought for what they believed in, didn't get it from the UFC, went outside the UFC, and was more successful than he would have been in the octagon. So I want Francis to win because it's a win for all the fighters if Francis wins. Not wins the fight, but gets the fight, gets the payday. That's the win. So whatever it takes to get Tyson Fury into a fight with you, accept it, make the money, make sure you're getting paid, but, you know, get that payday and go after it. You know, like, I don't care what they do. They could have a goddamn thumb wrestling match. If it's going to be on pay-per-view and Francis is going to make $30 million, do it.
No,
Slap
man, I'm on
fighting.
the other side of the fence, Dave. You know what? I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm old school, and I'm going to be honest. You know, we saw, like, you were talking about people, like, you know, like sometimes changing direction. We saw Olivier Aubin-Mercier leaving the UFC to become a PFL champion. We've seen that, and he's legit. That legitimizes all the hard work that he did for years. He didn't go into some stupid jiu-jitsu thing or some Toblerone ring to get some gimmick win. He won it legitimately through MMA. And it didn't matter if it was in the UFC, in Bellator, PFL, it was legit. And I'm going to get back to another thing. We look at guys like Jake Paul. Jake Paul came out as a gimmick. Everybody was laughing about it. This guy brought in more revenue than any fighter out there. And the guy, he kept fighting and kept getting better And in the end, he's 6-0, if I'm not mistaken, and he has legitimized himself in boxing. You can like it or you can hate it, but he didn't go into MMA. He stuck to the game of boxing, and he became legit. And you know what? That's the way it's got to be. I don't believe it if it's 4-ounce gloves and all this bullshit. No, you cannot destroy the game of boxing if that is your game. Ngannou has been boxing since he was like in his country of Africa. He was boxing before he did MMA, and he loves the game of boxing. So don't destroy the sport of boxing by turning it into some circus. Don't destroy the game of MMA by turning it into some circus that we saw. We saw it, like, many times. In the end, it doesn't last. But if you want to legitimize your aura of who you are in combat sports, if Ngannou beats Tyson Fury, in 50 years, we'll be talking about this guy being the champion in 2 different sports of combat, and no one can deny that. No one. The stupid fight with in an octagon with gloves or water with sharks and all this bullshit, it'll be a gimmick for a short period of time. No matter who wins or loses, it'll be controversial and it'll carry on and stupidity. Don't destroy the art that's been around since the time of, Adam and Eve, literally.
Okay, you don't think that Ngannou? You're like, oh, what about Ngannou? He can win the heavyweight title. He's not going to win the heavyweight title. He's not going to beat Tyson Fury. That's a moot point. Forget about that.
You don't know. You don't know, Dave.
Get out of here,
Dave. But you don't know.
But
you just don't know.
If the only way Francis can get Fury into a fight is in this weirdo rules fight, shouldn't he take it? Of course he should take it. No?
Fuck the money. The money will not give you the glory. You'll get the money, but you won't get the glory.
Sure.
And you went back to what? Listen, and I'll be honest.
Remind
me when Conor McGregor fought
never
Mayweather,
to let you negotiate any business deal for me, AJ. AJ's going to be negotiating business deals.
Listen,
Dave wants the best money
for
offer.
Our show, man,
AJ says,
I ran the streets
the
of Montreal, man, dressed up. Look, I ran the streets of Montreal dressed up as George St. Pierre, running the streets. I almost got hit by a car and all that kind of stuff. I was trying to do everything so that we could get, views. I'll do it because we're a show. But as a legitimate sport, as a jiu-jitsu, I'm not going to start doing jiu-jitsu on I don't know, on some waterbed to see who's a better jiu-jitsu fighter on a waterbed. Forget it. If I'm in porn, it's a different story.
Yeah,
but the thing is this. It's ridiculous, and don't destroy the sport for money. You won't get the glory, man. And that's what I'm trying to say.
It's a business.
It's all about the glory.
It's not a sport. Sports
it's
entertainment.
It's a business. But I'm going to tell you this. They'll make more pay-per-view money with boxing than some gimmick like in octagon with boxing rules. That shit won't fly. MMA people won't like it. Boxing people won't like it. Keep it to what it is. You put it as a boxing match, you're going to get the same pay-per-view numbers like Conor did. And Conor legitimately boxed for 10 rounds. And, man, he won quite a few of those rounds.
Here we go.
I don't care, but we all know that. And you know what? In the 8th round, man, you know what? Conor had him. I don't care what anybody says. But the thing is this, is that Conor fought his first professional fight with Mayweather. 49-0.
Kissing
the greatest
more
fighter
McGregor
that's out there.
ass over here.
I'm not, man. I'm talking Mayweather as well.
You love just talking about how much you love him.
No, but Mayweather legitimized himself even more by beating Conor. You can't take that away. He beat Conor in the end. That's real, and it was in boxing.
That legitimized him more
because it was a real fight.
Wow,
I think so. It legitimized the Conor. Yeah, man. The whole hype. It was a good fight, man. Everybody was on the edge, dude. It was crazy. That's what Ngannou needs to do. Don't get into the circus. Listen, man. That's
I
the
say
AJ
take
rant.
the money. Take whatever money they're offering. If it's a lot of money, take it because money is better than any kind of belt. Belts are fake. Money is real.
Yeah,
but only
Dave,
thing that's real is the money. Everything else, the prestige, the respect, all of that stuff is fake. And it's fleeting.
It's not, man.
It's
what
fleeting.
Are you talking
it
about,
disappears.
Man? Look,
it disappears.
No, man.
You can't buy a house with respect.
No, you're right.
You can't buy food with appreciation.
You're right. You're right there. I'm going to give you that. But
money. Get the
How much money
bag.
do you need? Conor, man, like years,
Never
over
enough.
a decade now, made $5,000 getting into the UFC. The guy is closer to $1 billion because he was legitimate in his sport. No matter how much he played the game,
AJ
went
just
out
crapped
and he
on
still fought. Win or lose, he still went there and fought. He was legit, and he deserves everything he got.
Man,
That's why he's
he
closer to $1
made
billion today. Good
most
for
of
him.
his
But he
money
didn't, like, he went into
off that
boxing.
gimmick
That was
fight.
legitimate. There was no like stupidity with Conor. Did you hear me? I went on a whole rant there.
Yeah, I heard you. Everything's glitching out
Did you hear
again.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
God
damn it.
damn, he can't hear
freaking
me now.
like, I hear you perfectly. I hear you, dude.
Conor made all his money off that gimmick fight with Mayweather. It was a gimmick
It wasn't
fight.
a gimmick fight.
Yes,
it was
it
not
was.
a gimmick fight. It was boxing with
I
boxing
mean-
rules. Come on, man. There was
Come on.
nothing like showcase. It was legit. It was legit. There was nothing put in there for stupidity. We had a real ref. We didn't have like Tom Hanks in there as like the celebrity ref, and all the rest of them doing cocaine on the side. It was legit, man, and that's the difference, man. I agree with one thing. Tyson Fury better rethink what he wants to do as a fight and stick to what he does best: box. If you're listening to the show, Tyson, listen to us. Don't listen to those Hollywood man agents. They're going to ruin you.
All right.
Just saying, man.
Well, this has been a total debacle of a show because of the internet issues that we've been having. So I appreciate everybody for hanging with us. Shout out to Grimskull. Grimskull is the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, Grimskull. Thank you to Patrick C. Hamilton for supporting on the super chat as well tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching and staying with us. This show will be re-uploaded to the YouTube channel as one video. I know we had different streams going. Things were a mess tonight. Hopefully we'll have everything sorted. Well, the internet company, Videotron, will have everything sorted by tomorrow night because we got a big weekend coming up on the Ringside Report Network. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time with Johnny North to preview the Royal Rumble. That's right. The WWE Royal Rumble is this weekend. The Royal Rumble preview is tomorrow night. And then on Saturday night, it will be the Royal Rumble, and we will do the Royal Rumble post-show. Right after the Royal Rumble, we will be on here on the Ringside Report Network to review the Rumble, tell you who won the men's Rumble, the women's Rumble, the pitch black match, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and everything that goes down in San Antonio, Texas on Saturday night. So a big weekend in pro wrestling coming up. The Royal Rumble preview tomorrow night here on the Wrestling Uncensored show, and then Saturday night, the Royal Rumble post show right here with my brother and I. I don't think Johnny will be on the Rumble post show. He's got a prior engagement. No, he's got something else he's got to do. He'll talk to you about it tomorrow night right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.